She looks fucking thrilled. Here, Blanchie, say hello to everybody. Oh yeah, look at you. You're an internet celebrity. You're dumb. Get out of here. All right, let me take her back downstairs. I'll be right back. All right. What is up? I guess I don't even need. Do I need headphones? What happened to my other? What happened here? Let's see. There we go. Okay, add it. Show it. There we go. What is up? Yes, that's Blanche Devereaux Torres. Let's see. All right. I got to bring our friends here. How is everyone today? Hope you're doing well. I wouldn't open that up. Open what up? The oh yeah, the Hot Wheels. Yeah. Check that bad boy out. I also got this guy. Pretty stoked on that. My son collects Hot Wheels, but I keep a couple that I like. I have a few. All right. I also registered for AppRight. Nice, Zenact. Zenact? I don't know. Do I know you, Zenact? I don't know. Good to see you, though. Like, yes, I know. The apple doesn't fall far, Ellie. All right. I just sent the link over to Vincent and Graham. So they should be joining us shortly. What up, Jake? Let's get some lights. These lights are gonna totally. Oh, it's Subaru. What's going on? Yeah, I know you from the twits. No, I do not work there. I'm just like brand ambassador. Leah's here. Hey, Leah. Great to see you. Um, I just hawk the shit for free. They don't pay me, but they give me cool stuff. And so it's a back end as a service company. Through APIs, you can build out a really easy database for your website. It's open source too, which is really cool. Yeah, Leah is here, and Udpa, and Ryan. Oh man, everybody's here. I heard you upgrade your keyboard. I'm about to, bro. I don't know what's going on with this. Let's see if I can get it to focus again. There we go. No more Five Below. I know, dude. All right, this is happening like right now. You ready? Here it is. I believe because it's in the white paper, that it is in fact the light mode keyboard. Oh dang, those are cute emotes. Dang, I want those. I got to get some. Okay, here we go though. This is happening. Gonna get some ASMR going, right? Here, you know what? I'm gonna actually take it off screen and open it and then do a reveal. She drew them herself, really? Holy shit. It's coming. They packaged this thing. Oh, I took it off screen only to remember that I'm also on that other camera. Hold on. Okay, well, here we go. Can you hear me again? Hey, everybody that's just jumping in the space. Can you hear me now? Yeah, when I switch over to that second camera, it cuts the audio off. All right, let's zoom in to the box. Oh, hey, Vincent's here. Oh, hey, Vincent.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sweet. We'll fix your face in a second here because you're covered by the chat. But
That's
uh,
good. That's all
ooh,
right.
no, I think let's see if I do something down here. Nope, can't do any of that. Oh, here we go.
I'm making coffee. It's all right.
There we go. Look at that. Nice. Oh yeah, baby. There it is, Vincent. You get one of these before you retired? No?
No, no.
No, sure
This
didn't.
is. I don't think many people on the team actually got one.
I don't think so either. A lot of
We
people
only
are.
made so many, and we gave
That's
all of them out.
that's true.
I left in anger because they didn't make any for us.
Yeah, I I didn't know that we were in fact getting one until we were down at Render together, and Eldad said that they had all shipped out, and people were already getting them. So,
Yeah.
box is nice. I am special, Ellie. What kind of coffee are you making today, Vincent? Ooh, where are the beans' origin? Are they Peru, Brazil? Where?
These are Colombian beans. They're
Colombian.
the
Okay. All
sweet
right.
chocolatey stuff.
Oh, I like that. I like the chocolate notes. Is that like a medium roast?
This is I think it's a light roast. It tastes like a light roast. Yeah.
Nice. I like it. All right. Here we go. The box is opening up. We're opening it up. Oh.
I was right. It is a light
Yeah. I was curious if the packaging was indicative of which one was which, if they put the dark ones in a dark like wrap. But anyway, you were right. You were right. I'm Yeah, Upa definitely is a split keyboard guy. I agree. Oh, we've got some extra keys. It's like to change out some of the function buttons. That's nice. Everything's going to be upside down here too. I apologize. I can't flip the camera for some reason. Did Graham show up yet? Let's see. Nope, not yet. He's late. I'm a big fan of punctuality here. I was
We can
early.
bully him when he
You were
comes.
right on time. Yeah. Oh, we will. Came with a nice tool. Dig that. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Here it is. Are we getting like crispy plastic sounds? Are you guys getting it? Or it is quite well, I mean, again, I've been keyboarding on a Five Below keyboard that weighs about 10 ounces. This has some heft. Here, I'm going to show you what I was on, like this thing. And
No, that's cool.
it's super, it actually works pretty well. I mean, it does the job, but again, this is wow. The craftsmanship. I was told, Eldad did tell me what it
Oh, yeah.
costs to manufacture these. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
Oh
We
wow.
we've been we were talking about making these like a year, maybe a year and a half, like into the past during a camp where we talked about making these. It took a year probably at
Yeah.
least.
Whose idea was this? I remember he was talking about it when we were at Render, but I don't know if you know the backstory to it.
I think a lot of us wanted to make a keyboard, but to make it like this special with all of the shortcuts and like so much like we basically build a command center like because we wanted to make a keyboard like or the other way around. That's definitely Eldad's idea.
Yeah, I don't here. Let's get get real close so everybody can see the keys. It does have the custom keys on there for oh, this camera's
Yeah.
not playing nice. There we go. I love that. And just the little accents. That's pretty sharp too. Oh yeah. Somebody asked what a Five Below. So Five Below is a like discount store here in the U.S. Where everything is in fact $5 or below. They have some other stuff that's like more expensive, but it's predominantly $5. So I have a keyboard and a mouse that cost me $10 total. Um, I don't care. I have no shame. It did the job, but we have a significant upgrade here. So I'm going to work on hooking this. Actually, you know what? We'll hook it up later because I do want to get to work. I think this will be cool. Did I send you over the like my outline?
No, or maybe you did. I just didn't read it because I'm rude. But
Yeah, that checks out. I actually don't think I sent it to you. Let me send you a link real quick so you can look it over, and then I kind of want to just start outlining slides.
definitely.
Let's see. What are you working on? Why don't we go over what you got going on right now, by the way, and give a little introduction to maybe some of the people that aren't familiar with our man Vincent.
Yeah, I used to work at Appright, and then I got a little burnt out because I wrote all of the documentation that you see on the website twice, basically because we had a rebrand, and then I got a little tired. I'm at Trunk now. We make dev tools. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know what I'm working on right now. I think a lot of it is we're scripting some videos, we're doing some user journey mapping and figuring out what we want to do with the docs. It's very greenfield. So like I joined a non-existent DevRel team, and we're doing everything from scratch. So like it's not super exciting.
You are the DevRel team.
Yeah,
You are. That's it. You are not Trump. Trunk.
not Trump.
Trunk. Um, yeah, Utpa, we're gonna. So I've got my talk coming up in a month. It's like almost exactly a month to the date. I have not started slides yet, and I contracted out this fine young gentleman and another one that's MIA to help me out. And
Lovely.
I sent you the link on Twitter to the Google Doc if you want to take a
This is a
peek.
paid job,
It
definitely.
is, yes, totally.
I do this for a living.
And he also is a masterful cook, chef. I don't know. You've got the YouTube page. Please throw it up in the chat for anybody that isn't subscribed to you too.
Oh yeah, that's a thing I can do.
They're phenomenal. Are you are you anonymous Loris? That's what your name
I'm
is.
not. Hey, hold on, I gotta find your stream. I'm sorry, I'm not watching your stream right now.
It's fine. It's fine. Vincent Chef. Yes. Chef Vincent, I
Hold on.
believe is what he would go with, but
All right, I don't know how this works. I'm gonna throw it in as a reply on X because I don't think Restream's letting me send comments. All right, that's fine.
send it to well, I guess I could also just put it.
No, you can just
I'll
do
do
it.
it.
While you do that, I'm gonna take a look at the outline. Do
Yes.
what we're supposed to do here today.
That would be great.
Oh,
Right.
this conference is in multiple locations. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have the Austin, which took place at the beginning of the year, and then this is like the flagship one. This is where it started in Wisconsin. I think they've been going for like 15 years now, so
Oh,
they've done a bunch of them. I worked for a night.
there's
All
no
right.
getting.
Is your YouTube channel on? Yep, it is. I got it. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna put it in the Twitch chat too.
yeah.
Everybody go check this out. They are
Okay.
really nice.
Gordon Ramsay probably makes really good food, but makes shit Chinese. Like I think all of the ethnic food he makes is like suspect at best.
Well, I
There's,
mean, go ahead.
it's suspect. It's
I
suspect.
no, I
All the wrong
totally agree.
ingredients.
I totally agree. There's only a certain level of authenticity somebody that isn't from a region can duplicate or make. So, it's all those like little unwritten ingredients or notes or just the
Exactly.
way things are prepared. I totally agree with you, man. I definitely want to make. I'm not going to pronounce it right. What are the hand pulled noodles?
油泼面. Do it with your kid. It's fun.
Yeah, no, that
Extremely frustrating, but it's fun.
yeah, or breakfast tacos. That's great. Breakfast tacos for the win. Did you get in there? Is that
Yeah,
you in the
I'm
doc?
reading.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
reading right now.
Okay.
No, I leaked the link in chat, so
Sick.
yeah, everyone can review it.
I have notes in here from a couple other people that have been helping me at least with the outline, but at
Mhm.
least from the outline we can start maybe fleshing out what some slides are going to be. So let me get Canva opened up here.
Oh wow, you're using Canva. That's nice.
Bro, I always use Canva. I love it and I will die by it. Let's
I
see.
like Canva. We're
So do
in
I.
agreement. Can you make
Screen.
good jianbing, Vince? Yes, I can, but I prefer not to because like mung beans are hard to find here. It needs to be somewhat fresh. Like it needs to be within a year, but all the mung beans they sell is like too old. It doesn't ferment right.
Good
Ellie
to
will
know.
know what I'm. Don't worry about it.
She understands. I
She
know
has
Ellie does.
a lot of reflection, introduction, opening, brief summary of goal of talk, outline topics, background, background,
Yeah,
raise your hand.
that is Taylor. You should see some of these like usually what I do, so I make all of Taylor's thumbnails for all of his content. And I send him probably 3 or 4 that are just absolute fucking troll
He uses them.
thumbnails. No, not 9 times out of 10 he doesn't. I'm just sending them to like fuck with him. This one, however, so what I'm trying to get him to work on is clippable content. It's hard because he's moving so much to just lock like a single like static shot that's clean
Yeah.
to get a still from. So I have to keep reminding him. And literally, this was unfortunately one of the best ones where he's facing the camera and I could get a still. He's like, fuck, I guess that's what we got to work with. I was like, yeah, whose fault's that? I've told you this for like months now. But his audio's gotten better too. So that
Yeah.
was my other thing. He struggled with a lot, which I think you'd be proud of. I really scrutinized that. And
It's funny. I've recommended Dennis to get a dynamic mic for the longest time because condensers like is dog shit in his untreated room. But
yeah,
he's like no, this is fine, this is fine. And then I leave and I watch his latest videos. He's using a dynamic mic now. I'm like,
you're still responsible. You still did that. Just remember that. All right. So I'm going to say talk slides. Let's talking presentation. I don't think that's right. Presentation. Let's see. Let's figure out. I don't think that I'm going to need a lot of slides, but I want them as just like reference and talking
yeah,
points. But I kind of want something. I kind of like this with the
can I make a
TV.
chow mein recipe? Come on, no one eats that crap. That's for poor people in China. Like literally, that's the equivalent of like you can't afford shit and like you
Whoa,
go for
that's hot take. I like
no,
that.
this is real. Like
I
fried
believe you.
rice is for when is the equivalent of like throwing everything in the fridge into a sandwich. Like you're getting scammed. Try some real Chinese food. Hot takes. No, I'll make a recipe. Sounds
I
like fun.
dig that. What do we think about this layout?
Is are these your real slides?
What? No, it's just a
Oh, okay,
template.
okay. I was gonna say
I
I'm a
mean,
fan.
I
It
mean,
fits your
yes.
style.
Well, for I was gonna say you were not, in fact, gonna say that when you thought I had put effort into creating these. You're like, yeah, it's pretty good, but be honest, you don't love it.
I
You
think
liked
it
it
fits.
because you thought I made it.
No, it looks cheap, which fits your style.
Wow. cheap, which fits my
I'm kidding.
style. Wow.
No,
It's the Five Below, isn't it? It was Five Below made you say that.
like the whole tech commute vibe is like very relatable and authentic and like somewhat cheap, but like the right kind of cheap. Because like
Yeah, I
production
want it to be
quality, when it gets
playful.
to, yeah, exactly. When it gets like kind of high, but not high enough, there's like a big dip where it's just like it sounds like you're trying too hard and it's like inauthentic until you get
Yeah,
to like really high production quality again.
right. I don't want a lot of polish because I want it to be, like tangible for everybody. I want it to look like
Yeah.
it was well done, but still, you know, me. Yeah, ouch, Vincent. Ouch. See, everybody's definitely taking my side on that, just for the record.
All right.
All right, well, we can shop. We can shop a couple other looks there, bud. I
Yeah.
I'm also going to change a lot of this. A lot of this will come out. I am not going to use every single component. Like I probably will lose the water. What the fuck am I even looking at here? Is this a slice of watermelon with daisies? I don't think that's my vibe. We could probably lose that. And maybe this like strawberry, probably the stars. See, a lot simpler. Maybe these. There we go. It already looks better. He's like, I actually liked the watermelon and the hearts. So
The outline's great. I mean, I think what you do really well when it comes to community building on all of these things that maybe spend some time on is I think a lot of us, including myself, focus too much on like stuff to do and to talk about. But you genuinely seem to care about the people that you have chats with. And that's like in the
hmm.
tech world is a rare skill, is the ability to hold non-awkward and like authentic small talk and
I,
sound like you care. I don't know if you actually care, but like you sound
I
like you care.
I do care. It's because I'm not actually faking it. See, the thing is, I'll be completely honest, and actually most of the people that I got to hang out with at Render a couple weeks ago can attest this. Like, if I don't want to talk to you, I will not talk to you. So if I
Yeah.
am talking to you, it's 1,000% genuine.
Yeah.
That's it. Like time is like so fleeting. So if I'm going to interact with you, it means I want to. It means I care. I care to
Yeah.
spend that time with you. Like you, Vincent. See, you came to hang out with me. It's because you care, buddy.
Yeah, I know you're cool.
Yeah, you're cool too, dude. All right. Well, let's get into this here. So, you read the outline, which I have not given to everybody. I've got some notes here. I have to kind of amend this and iterate a little bit more and flesh it out. It's very short, but I also think these are more talking points for me. I want my slides to convey points, not be messages that people need to like be writing the whole time. It's more
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
points for me just to reference and maybe a couple visuals. Um, how do you think we should start though? Like, what's a great starting point as far as like slides go? Maybe Graham's here, but nope, still not here. What the hell? This guy. Anyway,
Like, what are you? What? I guess let's focus on who the target audience is. Like, why would someone want to listen to your talk? Like, what is your goal here?
yeah. So what my takeaway is, I was thinking about this yesterday when I was running too. I actually took a few notes in my phone, just like kind of points. I think that people overcomplicate what networking and community building is. I think a lot of people have just apprehension with going up to people or just talking to people. And I,
Yeah.
I wonder like what the subconscious, like the real deep level thought is as to why. And the only thing that I can think of is maybe that we confront this like fear that we cannot provide value to someone, or the person that we're trying to interact with provides more value than we think we can give back,
Uh
and
huh.
that intimidates us. So what I want to do is I want to break down points as to how I have done networking and built community, providing examples, and
Right.
simplify it more where it's more accessible to just anybody, that anybody can just go into a space, hang out, and then create a community from that. what I want to do is I want to allocate about, because this is an hour session. I want to dedicate like 35 to 40 minutes to the talk, and then I'm going to take the last 20 minutes for questions and then like an actual activity, so that everybody that's at the talk can, like, in real time, network and like kind of build their own communities. So the metaphor as far as like a wallet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody write down their information, a little like, I'm going to print out a bunch of dollar bucks. Oh, Graham's here. Let's
I'm
let's
telling you, you're
There he
fucking
is.
wild for like being able to hold like a 20-minute activity at a conference. That's like
Well,
scary as hell.
I think it's
I
going
think
to
you're really
take that long because I want people to be able to interact with each other too. Like 20 minutes of just like chatting and mingling and networking isn't going to be that long. I think it's going to go a lot faster than you think. But what I want everybody to do is write down some sort of contact information and pass it to everybody that's in the talk, so that everybody's building a community as like visual currency. Like they fill the wallet with the currency. See what I'm going for there? So we do it in real time there, and it's like a real time example. Hi, Graham.
Hey, 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 how we both doing? Sorry, I'm late.
Hello. You are a little late. It's fine. You just didn't want to be here.
Yeah, well,
Sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come.
yeah, that, and yeah, just one of those days. It's been fun.
Yeah. I totally understand. We said we were gonna bully you, but we understand you have real life obligations. You're an adult, so
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, don't like
that's why like Jason's name is covering your face on stream now.
I
So, like,
moved it.
Yeah.
I moved it.
that was your
I did,
punishment.
I did try to fix that.
Here,
fiddly
we
little
can do
stuff.
this too. No, it's too small. I don't like that.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna give you a slightly different perspective
Hit me.
on this, and I think this is gonna be a little interesting. But for a lot of people that I know in the
Mhm.
tech world, I think as soon as you mentioned that, like maybe they're worried about not being able to provide enough value, or like worried how they'll come off, I think you've gone too far in terms
Mhm.
of the amount that someone who does engineering or whatever actually cares about how they come off. I'm saying this because I think a lot of it as well is a lack of practice, because a lot of us are very used to being like very very siloed, and I wouldn't say like not social, but like we just didn't have a lot of practice. A lot of people I know in tech just traditionally have been very very introverted,
Mhm.
and have just not talked to a lot of people. They don't think about all of the things that we might think about when we're like talking to someone, we're trying to connect with someone. Like they just don't know how to start. Period.
Yeah.
Like they're not as far as being like, oh, I need to provide value in the conversation that we're having. They just don't know how to start a conversation.
Yeah.
That's my viewpoint.
No, and I agree with that also. And I feel like that's kind of where it started. It's like, where do you get the ball rolling on it? When I was on my run yesterday, I was just kind of trying to take a deeper look at maybe some of the reasons why. So I don't necessarily need to include that. And again, that's not even in the outline that I sent you guys in the chat.
Uh-huh.
It's just kind of where my head went yesterday, trying to kind of understand like what manifests maybe some of these apprehensions. I don't think I even need to talk about it, unless it just comes up like as a tangent at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I
So,
think that's kind of where it came from. Go ahead.
yeah, I was just wondering if you two are going to stop being rude or if you're going to catch me up, But hey, how are we all?
Yes.
And also, I just want to reply to up, but yes, it's purely for decoration. I'm not going to be putting any things in the back, but feel free to make me into a meme. There you go.
Ooh.
Meme time.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Oh
But
boy.
sounds like a super interesting conversation. From what I gathered, yeah, it sounds like Jason, you had huge plans, and yeah, Vincent's brought you a little bit more down to earth on realism and also perhaps what should be in the talk. Because I heard passing around and 20 minutes, and I just went, what in the bloody hell are we doing? Is this the swingers party? Can I come?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's what she said. Anyway, yeah, Cliff Notes version. I sent you both, which Graham, I don't know if you opened it in the Twitter chat. I sent you a link to the outline. I was telling him yesterday I went on a run and I was just kind of letting my mind wander about the talk. And that was some of the stuff that we were talking about. I think as far as the hour of time that I have, I don't want to talk for an hour. I want to give people an opportunity to actually like utilize maybe some of the points that we were talking about and like build a community or do networking because we're all kind of sharing that experience together. So it's literally just a quick, and again, I might go over or I might even end short. I don't know. I just want to make sure that I have enough time for people to do that where they're taking the opportunity to meet another person that's there, meet the person that's sitting next to them if they don't know them, and you know, put their money where their mouth is, so to speak. They're coming to my talk for a specific reason, so I want to make sure that they're, you know, following through on some of the stuff that we're learning or talking about.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So first of all, an hour. Wow. Like those are long talks. There's very few
Yeah,
conferences
no,
I've been to where
no
the talk
shit.
slots are an hour long. Yeah.
Well, right. That's why I think I could probably fill like 30, 35 minutes and then just wing it and, you know, hang out, answer questions, like use it as an actual opportunity to have like a networking
Oh, no.
mixer
Like
type thing.
you could waffle on for well over an hour. What I mean is to keep someone's attention for an hour. It is difficult. Like you could easily talk for an hour, Jason. Don't worry. Like Vince and I could leave now, and this stream will continue on for at least a week. But in terms of keeping the talk interesting, I like the points that you've laid out. You need to perhaps use the 60-10 rule. I think is going to be your way to do it if you've got an hour to fill. So 60 seconds just to get someone ramped up on a subject, 10 minutes total on a subject, and then you do little mini resets effectively. So every 10 minutes, so split it into 6 slots. Save the last slot for questions, answers, if you're going to do that, if you're feeling brave. Also, your name moving around the screen is very off-putting. Just leave it alone. Leave it where it needs to be.
Where
did it just pop down to the bottom, or
no, the comments show up down there. My name's up here.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah,
it's me reading the thing up on the side of the screen that did it then.
Yeah, I think I can hide it. So just keep talking. Let me see what I can figure out.
I can keep talking. So obviously I missed. Sorry, like I said, apologies that I'm late.
You're all right.
The bit that I'm most interested in is your opening brief summary of goal of the talk and outline of the topics. Like everything else from there flows on. But that's the key. Like if you can't hit me with a bang in the first minute, you've lost me for an hour anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to recover things you've already done with Vincent, because Vincent is a very smart individual. There you go.
And Vincent, honestly, we haven't really got into it. Like I was just sort of talking about the conversation that I had in my own head yesterday, and that's literally about as far as we got. He made fun of the slides that I picked.
What
slides look identical to what yours used before? They'll go over great, so you'll be fine.
So okay, here's what's going on in my mind. I think what a lot of this is going to end up being is people who don't typically network a lot, instead of being like worried about like their value prop, they are very self-conscious about the way that they talk to people. They're conscious of the fact that they're kind of bad at small talk and just like randomly talking to people. They're afraid of the conversation becoming really, really awkward. These are like the actual fears that I think would go through someone who is typically like in engineering roles, because I've tried a lot of times to either get engineers to come do an interview with me, or like, you know, do all of those things, or like even just talking to them, being like, hey, come to this conference, have conversations with people. These are the things that they'll actually tell you that's going on through their minds, and I can kind of tell. But a lot of times in my mind, what they don't kind of like understand is that if you don't want to have small talk, just skip to talking shop, engineers networking with other engineers. You can skip straight to like JavaScript, like, or some dumb crap like that, and it's fine. It's like rude if you talk to a normal person and you skip small talk, but like I find skipping small talk to be like really beneficial. And I feel like a lot of what I'm trying to get at is like, I think to enter the talk, it might make more sense to address some of those things that they think about instead, because I think this talk comes with the assumption that they're like, I come in, I want to network with people. I think it's rather like, I come in, I need to network with people, but I'm afraid to. Is like a more accurate assumption of like the mind of a typical developer. I don't know. I don't know. Graham, am I totally off?
No, certainly not totally off. I'm just trying to. The goal of this talk is to inspire confidence in somebody to go and say hello. So I'm kind of in Vincent's camp here. Like, you need to get that shy person in the corner of a room who doesn't know how to start a conversation to reach out and say hi to somebody and be the awkward one. I think that's the win of a goal. The problem is, I don't know. You sent us all these wonderful notes. What's really useful sometimes when someone's trying to help you prepare a talk is to know the title of the talk in the document, so then we know what we're trying to center things around. That normally helps.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That would probably have been helpful. Fair enough. Give me one sec here, because I can't remember how it's worded. What?
We know Jason's goal on the talk.
What is my goal?
Your
yeah, go ahead.
You gave me a 10-minute spiel before Graham joined about the reason why. So the point what you're trying to share is things that you've learned throughout your years of not being in the tech world about your people skills, building communities.
Yeah,
and networking. That's what you're trying to share, right?
I'm sending you this slot, the page for the talk too, just so you guys have it.
Community as currency. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes. So I think that all of the stuff that we touched on, though, is important to doing that. Like, you have to have some sort of foundational abilities to expand on. Like, people that have issues with what we've already talked about are going to struggle with doing this type of thing. So I think it's sort of hand in hand. So I think that there's definitely value to talking about those things first, and again, presenting it to people that don't find doing it approachable.
Yeah. I think everyone knows it's valuable. Everyone knows they need to do it. I think more so it's just like, I have no idea how to do it. I'm afraid. I think that's like the relatable angle to start a talk on. That's the common ground, I believe, in my mind. I'm not sure if that's for everybody, but
what do you think, Graham?
First of all, love the title of the talk. I'm glad that you shared that with me like that. Yeah. I like it. It's punchy. And since you've probably discussed it but haven't written it in chat, it's community as currency, how to fill a wallet or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Look, I think the first thing that'll help you at this point, Jason, is, and it's a weird one to do, but we'll steal a marketing thing and we'll build a persona. Who is the talk to? It can't be to everybody. If you try to please everybody, you please nobody. So who is it? Who's the person? Let's build up what they look like and actually have look at stuff that's like, right, this is this person, they've been in tech this long, they have had this experience in the past. Also, it might be useful sharing things with the audience instead of us just talking.
Yeah, that's true. I put the link to the talk, that conference thing in the chat, so everybody can check that out. And obviously, anybody that has feedback, please feel free. Yeah. Doesn't mean we're going to listen, but we'll at least see it. I think the person, at least like the target audience, is the community curious, where they're trying to understand how to establish that. I think trying to figure out who and how. Vincent had kind of touched on it earlier, as far as like maybe some people that are a little bit more introverted might not necessarily know how to go about doing that or going about networking. So I think it's maybe those people. I mean, I wouldn't personally go to a talk like this because I feel like I already know how to do that. But it doesn't mean that Ellie or Upa or somebody that is, I don't know. How do you tighten that up? I think you know who the audience is just based on what I kind of said, but how do you refine that?
No, actually, I'm now refining what I thought. So, are you wanting this to be people who want to build up a community, or people who want to be more active members of a community?
Hmm.
And then you keep mentioning networking, but I consider networking not building a community; it's building a group of people around you who can be a support group. Effectively, it's not quite the same thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think they're nuanced. I think there's a little bit of an overlap. You know, a community can function as a network. A network can also evolve into a community. I think it sort of depends on what the definitions are too.
So in that case, let me back up even further. Right. I come to this talk, so is that we'll work out the persona in a minute. What do I tell people about the talk when I've left? Like I go to see it. Vincent didn't get to see it. What are the words you want to come out of my mouth when I say,
Yeah.
Vincent, you can't believe Jason's talk blew my mind. It was amazing because
I learned how to effectively leverage. Nope. I learned how to. What? That is a great question. We
I,
explore the nuances of community. Yeah,
I think there's a disconnect between the outline and community as a currency and the actual title. And like the title and what you've submitted in your CFP, I think there's a slight disconnect between that and the outline.
okay.
In my mind, the outline currently talks a lot more about how you can build up the people skill you need to be able to like basically go out, make meaningful connections and these things. That's what I'm getting from the outline, but it seems like what I'm seeing from like the submitted CFP is slightly different in my mind.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I guess I'm just trying to figure out how to elaborate on that or tie it in.
Well, what's the difference between community and networking?
I see. I don't necessarily think. I think networking has more to do with like a once. I don't know that there is. I guess that's kind of where I said there's a little bit of a blurred line there because a network is is technically a community. It depends on what the level of the relationship is with the person.
so
So
I'm gonna argue hard, and I'm gonna draw you a line here. The difference between a network and a community is I can have 100 people in my network who do not know each other but know me. A
mhm.
community is 100 people in my
Yes.
network where 10 of them know each other, perhaps, and another 10 do. So
Yeah.
there is a distinct difference. And that's why I keep trying to pull you away from networking, because in networking,
Yeah.
I might go and reach out to, CEOs of companies and people who are in positions that I might be able to do something for them. They might be able to do something for me. Whereas community is just, hey, we've got a shared interest, people. Let's all hang out, chill, and see if
Yeah.
something amazing happens.
See, and I think that's where like the definition of networking has been sort of marred because I think people look at it as like purely transactional. You go to your network to, like you said, CEOs and stuff like that. I don't see it that way. And I think that's one thing that maybe, I guess that's a talk for a different day. I think just focusing specifically on what the topic is here, if we just look at what everybody looks at from that transactional business networking, it's not applicable. And I think I agree with you. But
I,
for me,
mhm.
networking is a little bit different. Networking is how I would build a community. Networking is talking to you guys like we networked, and now I feel you guys would be part of my community. So how do you make the pivot? How do you turn that or flip that person?
I think where you're getting at, and I think is really good that we're getting to this, is perhaps what's difficult isn't making that introduction, being like, hey, let's connect on X, or hey, let's connect on LinkedIn. I think where you're getting at, and where a lot of people will struggle, I think, including myself, because like I'm kind of antisocial in a lot of ways, is taking that step after you've made that connection, and how
Yes.
to maintain and make it useful. And maybe that's what it should be centered on. And
Yeah.
That and connecting with others as well. Like I said, because that is your key difference between a network and a community. Like, you could network with each of us and we become good friends, whether or not you're doing it for gain. So yeah, you can take that out the equation. But in order to build a community, you have to introduce us to each other and we have to feel comfortable with each other. And that's always the problem, because Vincent is just a horrible human being and I can't believe you bring me on calls with him. So, that's where the problem is. But no, there is a grain of truth under that, not the Vincent part, but you also have to find a way of having very different people who do and don't like each other, or have different interests so they don't quite click, and all sorts of things. To make a community work, you need some way of being able to manage all of that as well and make that all flow together. So yeah. And for clarity, I do like Vincent, everybody.
Yeah.
A little bit.
There's another soundbite we have to get. But I think that's kind of the thing about community. And I liked that Vincent brought up that point about, again, how do you and I'll just use this term because I can't think of a better one, is like, how do you turn them, right? Like, how do you take that network and then turn them into these community members or these people around you? I think that one's really important, what that next step is. But I don't think you can, a real community of like people that have like those shared interests or the common things, like those aren't going to be the people you don't like. Like that's not, for me, that's not how community would work. Like, I'm building a community of people that are similar, do relate to each other, are building friends or interested in those people. But communities can overlap too. So I don't know. I liked Vincent's point though, is like, again, how do you flip them? Like, what's that step there to maintain that, where like we've all met each other, but what was that next step? I think that's where a lot of people struggle.
Yeah. You've used the same term several times, and I think you're approaching it back to front. You keep saying, how do I flip people into a community? As in, how do I get them to? No, it's driven by giving someone a reason to want to join a community, and you having the foresight to drive a community in the right direction.
Correct. I'm just saying it very pragmatically because I can't think of like a really like better way to articulate that point. But yes, I agree with you. I'm just saying it just to like specifically black and white that point.
And the point is that I'm trying to make is, it's not on the individual. It's not like how can I make Vincent join my community? It is, how can I make my community so interesting, welcoming, exciting, whatever words we want to throw in there, that people want to join and are reaching out to join and telling their friends about it. If we're going to, I feel like if you're going to do the currency thing, you've got loads of analogies you can do onto, well, you could go the investment route or you could go the loan route. And, like the loan route is all about, like, you do the hard reach out that is directed at people who can help you. And then the investment route is you build the foundation, it grows from there. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's where the analogy was coming from too. It's like, if I'm an employee and I'm putting the work in, I get the payment back. And if I want to then exchange said payment for something in the community, like giving that value back, then I get something in return, but organically. That's again, there's tons of analogies there. I think I'm really looking, and again, I want to brainstorm because I want that point to really drive home. Like, I want that analogy to be like, everybody hears it, like, oh, I get it. That aha moment of the whole talk. So trying to figure that one out has been really the hardest for me. But I think you just touched on it. Like, they're there. It's just, I got to figure out what the one that's going to resonate the most is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we're at.
Right. So, I mean, everything you've written at this point, I mean, first of all, right, so, I know people can't see, but Jason sent us a great sort of outline of what he's thinking. We should spend the rest of this session on the first 60 seconds, I think. I don't think Vincent and I need to help you write the rest of it. We'll just sort of look at it once you're done.
Yeah.
But that first 60 seconds is going to lay the tone. It's going to put you in the frame of mind for how your talk's going to come across. And secondly, this is important because, like I said, Vincent and I might not be here for that. Please, for the love of God, will you get rid of the background slide or put it last? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I say this so many times to people and they don't
Yeah.
listen. So the second point Jason has put is background, how I came from a non-traditional, how you came from a non-traditional background, asking questions of the audience, things like that, background in film. Like, yeah, like talk about your background in film, but not in the it's about me. It's the thing I learned from a background in film is, and have it scattered throughout the thing. And if you want to talk about yourself, move it later. At the beginning, you still need to be in selfish mode. Like people are there to wind up and decide, am I going to engage with this? So you need to be what's in it for me mode at the beginning and really kick like, oh shit, I'm going to listen because Jason has something that's interesting to me and will help me. Not, oh, it's about Jason and his background. I'll fall asleep at that point.
I have a preference here. I believe that talks, especially of this sort, should not have an introduction, especially about the speaker. This is just me. I really enjoy how Dan Abramov's talks. If you listen to him talk, he's just like, okay, yeah, so server components, like that's how quickly it gets into it. And I think a part of it is because like we're impatient as heck now, and I've noticed that whether it's through like editing blogs over time or like or doing videos, whatever it is, like I make a conscious effort to like remove introductions and sometimes now conclusions from things, because I've noticed people convert better if we don't do the conclusion for them, which is like dumb because it's not what we learn in school. But like I would almost just like go straight into it and hit them with something. Yeah.
I'm well with that, and I want it to be like, I want it to be heavy as well. You know, if you're gonna lean in hard to this currency thing, I'd be like, $1 trillion are the first words out your mouth. That is the value of building community in the world. Like, I want you to hit me with something that makes me go, what in the hello?
They're already there. They can't just walk away. So you can say some absurd things and you can expect them to like stay and listen for the rest of it. But it has to be pretty absurd. Which is fine.
I love some of the comments that are going, how will I know it's over if there's no no roundup at the end? When everybody else leaves, that's always my indication that the talk's over. It gets me to look up from my phone. Oh, it's over already, right? Never mind, I'm off.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk away. That's it. When I leave the area.
No, you walk off stage and go and start shaking everyone's hands and go, welcome to the community. Welcome to the community.
Don't give people closure. If you give people closure, they're not gonna remember shit from your talk. Like this is something that people figured out with like YouTube videos. If you look at how Mr. Beast does his videos, there's no closure on any of his videos. It just ends. When it ends, you're like, what the fuck happened? And then you like subconsciously start scrolling for comments and other things to look at.
If
like, there's no end.
You can't have a Q&A at the end if you
that's true. Well, I'll come out for an encore, right? Like I leave.
Oh my god, who do you think you are? Jesus. Look at Mr. Big Balls Talker over here. Yeah, I'm out for my encore, people.
Jesus.
You laugh.
Jesus. Well, you guys told me I have to leave. Just it's dramatic effect. I was going for that.
Jason's done 2 talks. You've done 2 talks.
I've done one. Where
already?
What was with this zoom on Vincent? I feel like this is like an expose piece. Like we're talking real now.
My phone camera is dead, so this is what you get now. You get my laptop camera.
I like.
I thought this was you making a point, Vincent.
So did I. I thought it was for dramatic
look,
effect.
Jason, right?
Okay, look, Jason.
I liked that.
But no, really like.
Yeah, see, last sentence and just runs off the stage. Fortunately it's not on a stage. I think we're just in like little breakout areas.
Okay.
I do not
turn your back on the audience then and walk away.
Yeah. I'll just close the laptop and walk away. I like it.
Go to the magic
store. Do you get a podium stand? Just like go hide behind the podium stand.
Oh yeah. I think I saw the pictures of Austin. There's a little podium. There's a TV and tables. So, okay. Well, I'm probably not going to do that. I love the feedback though. We'll workshop it. But I mean, I like the notes here. So I think the gist of what you guys are saying, or the moral here, is like you really want to have an impactful minute to get them on board. So how, based on what we're seeing, do you feel I should approach that? And I feel like I got a little bit of a conflicting thing here as far as like either lose the intro and get right into it or have like a punchy intro. Which should I?
It might be that you call it an intro, but essentially, yeah, your first 60 seconds is hit me with something that makes me wake up, because I may have been at 10 other talks already. I'm tired. You know, I'm like, I'm doing this just because I kind of want to just have somewhere to chill and sit down. Like, you want to capture those people. So hit them with something that makes me go, oh, okay, right. Tell me what I'm going to get out of it, or tell me what shared problem you think the audience has. Make me get some like, I'm nodding along. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's why I'm here. And then tell me that you're going to solve it for me, or at least put me on the right track, and then go straight into what you're doing. That's my suggestion. But I'd see what Vincent said, because I'm very bang type of person, and Vincent's a little more considered, probably a bit smarter as well, so that helps.
Well, obviously, but anyway,
I think again, the point here is that people make connections on the interwebs by adding some form of social media contact with them, but then they do nothing about it. To roast them for it. I would just go into it that way, because I really think that's what you're like. You're trying to do is you're like, hey, look, you've made all of these connections. How many connections do you have on LinkedIn? How many people do you actually talk to? That's why they're useless connections, right? Like, go into it with like an opinion and an assumption about the audience that's obviously wrong. I hope it's right, but like,
No.
you need to have an opinion and an angle, and you want people either to agree with you, or more even better, like have all of them disagree with you, like at the beginning of the talk. It's when people disagree, they listen more carefully to her talk and they start thinking. But like, I don't know if you want to.
So I'm with you on that, Vincent. The only reason I have a slight concern, but it's only slight, because Jason, I think you could do it, is if you put people on the back foot from the start, you have to be prepared for the smart ass who's going to ask you the difficult questions to try and trip you up later. So as long as you're confident that you can handle that, then I love it. I love it. But
well, let's poke holes in that. Let's poke holes in that. Like, what would you say? I mean, people backpedal. I reel them back in. I bring them back in. What would be this difficult question given the context? Throw something at me.
I'd just be like, oh, okay. So how many connections have you got, Jason, who you regularly connect with? Do you think it's enough? And you know, does everybody like you? I'd be trying to find something to trip you up. I'd have to see your whole talk. But what I mean is, at the beginning, if you frame me that way, it's a great way to get my attention. But if you don't get me nodding along by the end, I'm going to be a smart ass who comes up and says, oh, in the third slide you said about something, but that tends to be wrong because X, Y, and Z. And I'll quote some random person that will just be like, what the hell are you on about? And yeah, what I mean is you get the assholes to stand up.
I'm going to be a dick.
Yeah,
well,
Vincent,
you're still unemployed. Why?
That's
where's this wallet?
where's the money, buddy?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but see, that's why it's advantageous to talk to you guys, because you are the assholes. Like, if I can bulletproof the talk to what you guys would throw at me, you know what I mean? So, and that is a fantastic question, Vincent, and I could very easily explain that. But again, that's what we're working on. Career pivoters, I think, have a little bit different way of establishing community because they're building it from scratch, as opposed to like somebody that's already in the tech industry that might already have some of these connections. So, and the connections that I'm building are getting me interviews as of right now. We'll see what happens.
Yet again, you have to decide: are you trying to be every person's joy, or talk to one person? Because I was late to networking in terms of like social media networking. I did a lot of in-face, but it's a different game. Are you talking to me, the person who has tech knowledge when I join a tech community, so I can talk at high level or stuff? Or are you talking to a beginner who will have less to talk about, and you have to give them different techniques in order to participate, and different things that will build their confidence in a community? You know, it's two different things that you need to talk about there. So do you want to target everybody, in which case you need to cover the bases? Or do you want to be, this is a talk for beginners trying to break into tech, or this is a talk for people who've been in tech but they feel like they don't have the network around them, or what is it you want?
Let me help you do some like elimination work right here. So
Do it.
anybody who graduated from a reasonable university in a tech program is not your audience, because what I know, people that I know in the industry that are like that, for example, like everyone who graduated with me, I can get a referral tomorrow to most of the big Cali tech companies, like tomorrow if I wanted to, because that connection happened already in school. You know, like 10, 20, 30 people that you've talked to, most of them end up in tech and they hop around all the time. So you already have a usable connection. I think maybe what you're going to have to to focus on are people who are trying to break into tech, people who don't have a traditional background where they were raised in a cohort of like 200, 300 people in an engineering program somewhere that all ended up in engineering. So maybe you can like zoom in specifically on beginners. And I think it also makes less sense for you to be like targeting people who are later into their careers who are trying to network, because maybe some of these points of advice, like I don't think this advice is as valid for them, because if they've been working professionally for 10 years, a lot of this they might already know a lot of. I might be wrong here, but
I'm
that's
gonna
what I'm thinking.
sure, no, and I like those points. I'm gonna play devil's advocate though and say that a lot of what you just used as an example for that person that has those connections is networking and not community.
Okay.
And I think that, you know, because you used like I could get a referral like that. I don't think that that's community. I think that that's like leaning back into that networking portion of it, which is great. I don't know that either side stands to benefit more. I think the new people have the opportunity to get some tools and like do it from the ground. I think the people that are already in the industry have established networking that they could then take some of these tools to expand it into a community if they chose to, if that makes sense. Graham, do you want to tell me to fuck off or?
Always.
what
Oh, you wanted more than that.
Community
Yeah.
give me that I can't get from what I'm able to do now, I guess is a better way to approach this. If like you are going to target those people that have a network.
I love that. I think it matters on what your why is. What kind of a community do you want? Does this have to be contingent on just tech? You want to have a group of people that have a shared interest just in your life about coding? I think that this is something that can stand to benefit people outside of tech as well. Like I am part of a community with running because, again, that's a shared experience that we all have together, you know, and the same with coding. Like you stand to benefit outside of the relationships you have because maybe those people, again, also have other interests. It's building those relationships outside of just a contact that could potentially be a referral.
There you go. Right. You need to frame that at the beginning.
Like yeah.
That. You need to frame that. This is who this talk is for. You don't say those exact words, but it's like, you know, you need to be saying this is what this is going to be in this, and here are the benefits of listening to what I have to say.
Yep.
And perhaps even put the negative in there, because you literally said what this isn't is how to get to the CEO of Google. Like if you want that is a different thing. That's networking, not community. This is building a support structure around your career or your life or you or whatever.
Yeah, define it. And like I'm guessing everyone has a network, but very few people have a community. So poke holes in the fact that they're only networking. Like that might be the angle, because again, it's the same idea where like they're networking, but they're not doing anything with their network after. Right?
Yeah, no, that's good too, because I think that we could probably also define a little bit. Maybe again, like
I'd love a punchy line that says a network gets you to X, a community gives you Y. Like I'd love a punchy thing that gives me a very okay, that's the difference.
I love giving feedback, but not having the responsibility of actually being creative and fixing the advice.
Yeah, isn't it good? Yeah. Yeah,
So
we just basically tell you all the crap you're doing wrong, and then you have to go and do the hard work. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty
dope. I
dope.
stopped writing blogs and only review people's blogs now. It's so much more fun.
That's actually fucking genius. Okay. Well, I feel like we got some places here. I feel like this is good. Sorry, I'm making this smaller.
You still need to nail down, like I said, I know it sounds stupid to labor on it, but you need to nail down on the feeling that I am going to leave the talk with, because nobody remembers the crap you say. People remember how inspired they are to go do a thing at the end of a talk. So, like, what do you want me to feel inspired to do when I leave? Like, what's the bit where I'm going to go, fuck yeah, when I go home from this conference, I am going to start community. Sorry.
Answer that shit.
Sorry, I thought I put it on silent, but it is on silent on my watch, but not on the phone itself.
Nice.
Also, I think just to make it clear for everybody, I don't think you're talking about starting a community. I think you're also talking about just like being a part of one, right? What is your angle?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at it from how I started a community from scratch. Like that's my experience as far as doing it especially in the tech industry. So I think people and that's the thing, and maybe there is at least a bullet point there where I'm going to say, you don't need to start a community, but you with some of these tools can also just like find them for yourself, find one that's already there. That's probably something that I kind of need to touch on too. Oh,
Jesus Christ, Vincent, will you stop doing that? It's scary. Switching between the two shots, Vincent. Yeah. It's like that guy.
It breaks every so often. Restream doesn't like.
That's funny.
Anyway, I think that's good, but I'm gonna give you a point that I'm thinking of. Like, if you're not also talking about joining communities, what happens if everybody just starts a community? Like, what the fuck happens then? Who's going to join your community? Like, do we just? Does it become a circle jerk? Like,
I really, really like the Vincent that we are channeling right now, Graham. I really am enjoying that.
What do you mean channeling? This is Vincent.
I just normally hide it very well.
I was gonna say this is fantastic. He's got if his hat was forward or he had his hair done, he would be very formal. Now he's back to formal, Vincent.
I'm gonna I don't because like it doesn't matter. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
this is
it's fine. Yeah, you don't work there anymore. Here, I'll put this up too. We're currently sponsored by App, right? Former and never got theirs in the room, including me, Graham.
Yeah.
Anyway, joining or starting. Yeah, I think that's kind of important to define as well, because not everybody is or needs to start a community. So I guess we should at least reference that as well.
It's fine if you decide to go the route of like creating a community, and that's fine. At some point, everybody needs to, but also like I'm just saying this is going to be one of those things that people are going to think about is like, well, if everybody here is going to start a community, who's going to join them? Like, what makes one person special? Like, is it a very selfish thing at that point? Like, or can it be like you can be a part of many communities, and like it doesn't have to be centered around you? Like,
yeah. Well, all right. So maybe that's more the target audience then, is maybe the target audience here specifically. And I'm not saying that people that aren't trying to start them can benefit from some of the tools that we'll talk about, but maybe it is the people that are trying to start one. They have a specific interest and they're looking to surround themselves with people with similar interests, kind of on their own terms. Because obviously there's tons of fucking tech communities that are like the tech commute. I'm in like 100 Discords that are all the same fucking thing. But like what does set us apart, it's because it's our terms. So maybe that is also part of it. Because you're right. I don't think there needs to be the same community 100 times. Because what is the difference?
So what's missing in your outline is the preconditions of like what you're going to base a community around. Like how does one even know that they should or should look to start a community? Like what are the preconditions, right? You can't.
The problem is you shot yourself in the foot because your whole spiel on why I should come along to this talk is telling me we'll explore the nuances of community, how to get the most out of participating one, how to create one, the why behind it all, and how to empower the community so that everyone wins. So like you've already said, you're going to have to cover all the bases here.
Yeah.
So like. That's why I'm trying to say what's the feeling you want people to leave with, because you ain't going to cover all that in enough depth for it to matter. It's more like what fuzzies do you want me to leave with? You know,
Yeah.
'cause like I said, I'll forget every word you've said because it's you, Jason. Like, you know, I'm going to come along and after an hour of you talking, I'll be like, did he talk? What did he talk about? I can't remember.
Holy shit! Is he still here?
I do remember feeling like I wanted to jump off a bridge. You know, that's what I'm going to leave with. It's the feeling. So,
All right.
you know,
So I should have no sharp instruments anywhere present for 60 minutes.
yes, exactly. Yeah. Or nothing
Tight.
heavy that's throwable.
Tight. Okay. So I guess let's see if we had to just have that like who or what the takeaway is. What the takeaway is. What do you both of you give me what your takeaway is based on what you're seeing?
God, I knew we were going to do some heavy lifting, Vincent, but we're actually telling him what the moral of his whole talk is about.
No, because
do some subtraction.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you.
I'm only joking. I will tell you what I get out of community, which is it's the camaraderie. That's what it is. That's what it boils down to. It's the knowing there are other people with the same struggles, the same joys, the same interests. It's the having, you know, where especially with being a remote worker, and maybe this is something you can play with. By being a remote worker, I like being parts of communities because it gives me chance to interact socially and it be around a shared interest so we can interact more deeply, or at least use that as a springboard to get to know someone better. Because the problem is, I keep using it as a springboard to get to know people, and they get invited to streams with people like Jason and Vincent, and I'm just like, why do I do all this community stuff? God, it's just,
you do that shit to yourself, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. No, you know what I mean. That's what I do it for. I do it for the. It is that the word I'd use is camaraderie. I don't know if that is now a word that is viewed in a bad light, but for me, I view that as a great word.
Oh, I think that's an excellent word, and I think that really does kind of hit the nail on the head of what the whole point is. And I think that a word like that is really what differentiates community from the networking, as far as like what the definitions are. What about you, Vincent?
I think we're very used to and comfortable with suffering as software engineers. That's one of the amazing skills that we have, is the ability to suffer in silence and assume it's the default. I mean, that's the only reason why I see people writing PHP or like JavaScript or like all of these things. We're like rewriting code bases in Rust. And I think that shouldn't be the norm. And I think that's where communities come in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is in my mind. It's that what communities bring out is people's common understanding that like, hey, maybe we don't have to just like constantly suffer and accept it. And I think and this is a completely different take, but like what that brings out is people's willingness to change things. Like in a community, whether it's like you don't like the state of JavaScript, you can change it. You don't like the state of PHP, you can make changes. We're like, I'm getting pipped from my job. And so now there is a whole bunch of people that left Amazon who has a community who is brave enough to like complain about it and like not accept it as the default, right? That's what I think community gives you beyond all of that. It's like the strength to like not accept shitty situations as is. Because it amplifies that rage in you, you know? That's what I think it's about.
Which, I mean, again, is basically you just like long-winded said camaraderie.
I don't think it's the same thing. I think Graham's perspective is like assume mutual joy and enjoyment. Mine is like mutual suffering.
Right. Shared struggles. It's shared interests or shared struggles. Like that's it. It's the communion around like a specific singular topic, which in your case is fucking misery. And Graham's, which also ironically I would say Graham's is probably also misery, but he chose the high road there and went with like positives. So
I'm pretty sure I said shared interests and shared struggles, so you know I'm not far off. In fact, I'd love for one of the like I keep saying, trying to think of punchy things you can say that have made me laugh, but also think about it. And it's like, don't suffer in silence, suffer as a pack. Community, you know, it's like or suffer together or something like that. So it's like, you know, just playing with things like that I think will be interesting as as the slide titles in the back. Like there should be no other
This is
words.
sounding more and more like a socialist revolution. I don't know about you. This is not.
Viva España!
It's gonna be Viva community. Okay, well, I have some great notes here, guys. My production manager was just in here. He's telling me I gotta go for a little bit. This is good, and if it's cool with you two, maybe we can do something again, maybe offline, and you guys can take a look at this, and I'll give you some updates.
Yeah, I'm excited for the talk.
When
You
are we
give
going to
great
do my job? When are we going to do my job together? You know, like this is what I want to know.
We can-
Next week, just send a calendar invite.
Excellent, right? I'm looking forward to you helping me put accessibility plans in place. That should be very interesting.
That would be phenomenal.
something we know nothing about, but
Yeah, it's fine. And I'm
Plus-
colorblind. I'm like fucking useless. So
No, it's been fun. Thank you for having me. Sorry, like I said, I was late. Big shout outs to everyone other than Emberson. I don't know anyone, but seriously, like Lou, who got the machine learning person in the world. Oh no, sorry, quantum computing, even worse. Upper's already gone.
she's dissing my Laravel and PHP too. That hurts me, and I know it made Vincent hurt a little bit too.
no, I
yes.
hate PHP.
And Emma, just so you know, the PHP squad suffers alongside me because I am part of the PHP squad. I wrote PHP for 10 years, so we know suffering. Well, there you go. There's a great slide title. We know suffering.
Ooh, I like that.
There you go.
Let's get that. Hold before we get out of here. We know suffering. Join us. Perfect. All right. I like it, guys. Well, I guess I'll be back in like 20 minutes on Spaces for the Tech Commute Friday finale. If you guys can join us, otherwise, enjoy your Fridays. I'll text you guys later.
See you, everyone. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.